Hello everybody and welcome to the Welch review. Today we are talking about Cloverfield, which is, it's a giant monster movie. Might be an alien, might be a Godzilla type thing.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, might be an alien, might be giant Godzilla.
And who's in it?
So, in this movie you have Lily Kaplan, you have Jason Hawkins, Jessica Lucas, Michael Stahl-David, Odette Annabelle, Theo Rossi, who goes on to play Juice in Sons of Anarchy, and Ben Feldman, who plays Jonah in Superstore. And then my personal favorite, probably everyone's favorite character, T.J. Miller, who plays HUD. And then this film is produced by J.J. Abrams and directed by the very talented Matt Reeves, who directed two of the new entries into the Planet of the Apes movies, War for Planet of the Apes, and then Dawn of Planet of the Apes.
All right.
And then he's also in charge of the new Batman trilogy with Robert Pattinson.
I hope that that's good.
He also did Let Me In. But anyway, Matt Reeves is a quality guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like we were saying, this is big monster movie.
Mm-hmm.
Takes place in New York, and what's kind of unique about it is that it's all filmed in the first person. So basically you see through the eyes of one of the main characters named HUD, who's HUD played by?
T.J. Miller.
T.J. Miller, yeah. So he's played by T.J. Miller, and basically he's holding a camera the entire time because originally the movie took place in this one guy's apartment because they're going to throw him a surprise party.
Yep.
And HUD, who's T.J. Miller's character, like we just said, is filming the whole thing so that he can remember it when he goes away to, I think it's Japan.
Yeah, he got a promotion to be the vice president of Slusho, which is like a sugar slushy drink company.
Okay, so yeah, so he's going to Japan for the slushy drink company.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's some romantic stuff going on because his not his ex-girlfriend, right? Like his love interest.
Right, like this girl Beth, who in the movie talks like they've had a crush on each other like before college, and then they hook up, but they never define what they are, and now he's leaving, so it kind of pulls on the heartstrings a little bit. Like, what are we? Are we going to be with each other?
Yeah, so, and she brings her new boyfriend guy to his going away party, which kind of freaks him out. They argue, she leaves early, and then alien monster thing attacks, destroys Statue of Liberty because it needs to get destroyed because it's a monster movie. That's just how it works. Monsters don't like liberty.
Well, you can't just like, because what, King Kong climbed the Empire State Building, then he climbed the Twin Towers in the Jeff Bridges one, and then New York, Godzilla destroyed the Chrysler Building and got caught on the Brooklyn Bridge. Yep. So the Statue of Liberty is all they had left.
Oh, to destroy.
To destroy.
Yeah, I guess so. So all that stuff goes down. Our main character gets a phone call, is like, oh, crap, I gotta go save Beth, who winds up being in like some skyscraper on the other side of town.
Yeah.
Towards where the monster is and is going. So earlier we were talking to me and Steph, and he said that this is kind of just like a love story with a monster in the background. You want to kind of explain that idea? So
like Sam was saying, the story opens with this surprise party thing, and like this movie being first person, right, you learn through watching the film that the tape they're recording the party on, right, the goodbyes from all Rob's friends, they're recording over videos that Rob and Beth had made when they spent an entire day together. So they have romantic entanglement. As said, they've had crushes on each other. But the story really focuses about a boy liking a girl and then him trying to go and express his feelings to her and patch things up and make sure she knows he loves her. And then in the background, you just have this monster destroying stuff. Yeah. So like it's refreshing because typically they're just like, monster, run, things die. But here it's like a love story, you know?
It's kind of like a Prince Charming going to save the princess from a castle kind of thing.
And that's the heavy.
Yeah,
the monster's the heavy.
Less like a slashery kind of monster thing.
Like it just happens to be rambling around where they are. Like, not intentionally following them. It's like, oh, hey, I'm trying to tell you I love you, but also I gotta, like, go to X and dodge Z to get to A. And that's, I'm sorry for the poor choice of letters. I'm at A, I gotta get to D and dodge.
We understand.
Okay.
Yeah,
you get me.
A, B, C, D.
But, like, there's a history tied here, because Abrams and Reeves, they made a rom-com show called Felicity together about a girl who liked a boy and goes to the same college as him to be close to him. So they have that thread already established, but it is nice to see it's, like, an original spin on, like, the monster thing.
Yeah. In fact, more often than not, instead of being worried about the big monster, they're more concerned with these tiny little, like, offshoot monsters that, like, come out of the big monster. And they wind up having a lot of trouble with those through a couple of different scenes in the film.
Yeah, especially in the subway.
Yeah, in the subway, that's a big one. But what's kind of unique about this film, or maybe I guess not unique, but they cut the tension a lot of the time with humor. So in instances where it should be very tense, T.J. Miller, who plays HUD, who's, our perspective the entire time, because he's the one holding the camera.
When you were saying something...
He kind of just, like, not necessarily cuts the tension when it's super dramatic, but, like, right before and right after.
Yeah. Like, when they're in the subway, he's like, hey, guys, you remember a couple years ago when some guy was lighting homeless people on fire? Like, just how crazy would it be if some flaming homeless guy came running at us right now? And it's like, what?
Yeah, like they're walking through a dark subway, and that's what T.J. Miller's talking about, and everyone else is, like, pissing their pants, and T.J. Miller's like, flaming homeless people!
Flaming homeless people!
Like...
But, like, and going with HUD, right? It's funny, Sam was saying, in first person, like in video games, it's like heads up.
Oh, HUD means heads up display.
Heads up display, which is how this movie is essentially shot.
Yeah, and it's filmed by the guy named HUD.
Yeah, but in that, right? So, like, this first person type deal, right? Being it found footage as well, you really get to know these core group of people, right? And relate to them. I think easily everybody knows someone like one of these characters, so they're very easy to relate to. And you feel like you're on this journey with them. But that being said, I feel like, and obviously the cuts are, strategic, but sometimes I feel like it would have been nicer if they stayed longer, like, just on the monster. You know what I mean? Like in all these monster movies, right? They don't always give us more monster.
Yeah. Especially with, like, the big monster films.
Yeah.
I think, because, like, if you think of the new Godzilla films. The first new Godzilla film, there's like 20 minutes of Godzilla in a 2-hour film. I came here to see the big monster.
So
but yeah, I
don't
think that that's the point of Cloverfield, though.
Yeah.
The point of Cloverfield is, like, it's the journey that the people are going on while this monster's destroying stuff. It's a survival story of people who happen to be in this situation. It'd be like watching, I don't know, a movie about some citizens just in a war zone, right?
Oh, okay.
They're not fighting the war.
Right.
They're just trying to maybe do one specific thing in that area that they have to do, but they have to dodge all of these other elements, except in this, instead of a war, you have a giant monster.
I'm just saying, I would have liked more giant monster.
Yeah.
Like, I like the story, I like the journey it takes us on, but, like, if there was, like, when they do the news things, when it focuses on the TV, and then that TV is talking about the monster or shows what it's doing.
Yeah.
Or, like, I would have liked it if their journey intersected more with the monster than it did.
Yeah, I definitely understand what you're saying, and I do think that, movie companies go out of their way to show monsters less because they cost money to design and to CGI and all that. But I also think that it would probably be counter beneficial for the characters to be, that entangled with the monster.
Right.
So yeah, I definitely can agree with that. I just think from a plot standpoint, it makes sense that they're not just like You know where the best spot would be underneath that motherfucker? That's where we should be right now. You know what I mean?
Okay, so then talking about like the monster itself, what were your thoughts when you saw it? Right? Did you think it looked cool? Was it lame?
Yeah, I thought that it was cool. It's kind of got like a bug type vibe to it. Like I wasn't like terrified. Most of this movie won't like terrify you. It's not like a horrifying movie, but you know, there are definitely scenes where you're like, oh god, like there's some decent jump scares. When they get attacked in the subway, that's a pretty tense
I'd almost argue that the smaller creatures are scarier than the big thing.
Yeah, because like the big thing, you see it and then it's done, right?
Yeah.
The little things, like a giant monster can't sneak up on you. Like, you know, even if you don't see it or hear it, you're gonna feel like the ground shaking when it walks. A tiny monster, though, you know, that could be anywhere, and that idea that you're being watched or could be attacked at like any moment, that kind of spooky.
I agree. And like their design, I think, is definitely a little bit more, I don't know, more menacing looking.
Maybe. I mean,
You know,
they just got like a giant mouth and some legs.
Yeah, but I don't know, maybe it's the insect apparel. Like those things I feel look more like, you know, like creepy crawlies than the big dude.
I can understand that.
You know?
Yeah.
But like all in all, you know, it's a very good movie. It's I don't know. I don't think they're direct sequels, but they keep turning things out like 10 Cloverfield Lane. The Cloverfield Paradox sucked.
A horrible film.
So don't watch that. But I don't know. Hopefully they come back around to it and explain a little bit more of this monsters mythos. And I wonder if Jason, the brother, whatever happened to him. You know, like obviously the event at the bridge.
I forget about
you know,
the brother.
But like it doesn't show his body. You know?
Yeah.
And then Beth and Rob, they're under rubble. We don't know if they're like dead.
There's definitely a lot that they leave out towards the end. It gets kind of vague. But, yeah, I doubt that this is a franchise that's... I mean, like, it's probably going to keep getting explored, but there's a good chance that the Paradox movie kind of murdered the franchise. Although I never really viewed this movie as, like... Or this franchise in particular as direct sequels.
Yeah.
All of them kind of just seem... like that same kind of idea, at least the core two, right? 10 Cloverfield Lane and Cloverfield itself, they have like that surviving in an invasion of either monsters or aliens. It's kind of what they're about. But yeah, so Cloverfield, you got any closing thoughts?
Pick it up. Do yourself a favor. It's a fantastic film, and I think Matt Reeves is only gonna rise as he stays and directs more films. But definitely worthwhile. Cool monster, cool story. Has a little bit of everything for everyone.
Yeah. No, it's a good quality film. I don't think, like, if you're afraid of scary movies, I wouldn't say that this will freak you out. It might be a little scary, but it's not like, you know, it's not like a slasher or anything like seriously heavy.
It's a love story with a giant monster. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Date night. Stay gold, guys, and we will see you next time.